It's a bittersweet day because I am trading in my 2022 Z735M for a Z740R. Probably not much of an upgrade, but we'll see. So yeah, you heard me right. I am going to trade in to my local John Deere dealership. It's a 2022, I believe, John Deere Z735M. That's pretty low hour. It only has maybe 180 hours on it. I'll check here in just a second because I'm actually right next to it. And I've really done like no upgrades to it, mainly just maintenance. Minus the one upgrade I've done is I did add the, I guess you call it like the quick shoot. I think that's the brand, yeah, quick shoot. Where you can actually raise and lower the chute on the fly, a bit of mulch and not make as much of a mess. And it's in pretty immaculate shape. Let me show you guys. So it's been pretty much garage kept or barn kept at the least its whole life. I did pretty it up, I will say, for making the guy's job a little easier to sell it, because he's kind of like my local John Deere guy. He's gotten me anything John Deere I've owned, so I like to try to take care of him. So yeah, try to kind of detail it, shine some things up. Typical John Deere seat where it's a little bit, I did the best I could to kind of remove some of like the staining, but these yellow seats just love to kind of get that almost like black grease / mildew kind of look on them over time. But hey, it cleaned up pretty nicely. 132, that was way less than I thought. 132 hours. So yeah, I literally only use it for my house, and it's it's about 5 acres. Obviously I'm not mowing a full 5 acres, it's a little less. All right, is this gonna be safe? Yeah, okay. Okay, so for everyone wondering the reason why I am doing this, because you're probably like, that's not really an upgrade, go to a 9 series. Well, basically, I feel like my 7 series does everything I need it to. And it's a 54-inch deck. I did do some optional upgrades, like I got the rubber mats, the foot pegs. I feel like that's about it. You really can't do a ton of upgrades to these things. I leave the rollover bar down because I have a lot of trees and I've wheelied before. And the main reason that I'm doing this is because I really want the suspension glide seat. And I know you're already typing, you sissy boy. Yeah, I am. I've been using this mower for, what, 4 years now? And it's a wonderful mower, and it does have it has the comfort glide seat. I'm wanting the next step up, which is like the one where it literally has a strut tower built in. You put in your weight and everything. So if you see one that has a dial on the front, that's some version of I think it's called the suspension glide seat. But basically, my yard's very uneven. It's a long cut. I normally will cut it in 2 separate days, but a lot of times I'll do it in one day. I'm usually spending about 4 to 5 hours on my mower. And there's spots where I'm literally bouncing so high out of the seat that the mower turns off momentarily because I'm hitting the safety switch. So I don't know, maybe this is a horrible idea, but I am going to a 60-inch deck. So slightly larger deck, slightly less cut time, very slightly. The nicer seat. We are going to have the LEDs built in this time in the front, which I've heard are pretty nice, and I do often cut later in the day when it's hot. And so there's times where I have to stop because it's getting dark. Maybe that'll make it to where I can cut a little longer. I want to say that it may come with larger wheels. I don't know that for sure. We'll have to see. I also want to say that it comes with the step up from these hydros to where they have a little bit more torque and power. I know they're faster. I know that this new mower will do like 10.5 miles an hour. This one tops out about 9.5. It goes faster in reverse as well. Another big difference is this mower has a Briggs & Stratton. This new mower will have a Kawasaki engine, which I've kind of seen mixed things on. I know Kawasaki was like the leader in the engine game, but I know some people are saying Briggs is like caught up, so we'll see. I'm curious to see how I feel about that and the maintenance and everything. And yeah, other than that, I'm really just kind of doing this as more of an experimentational thing. I got a really good price on trade-in, by the way. For anyone that's just like, man, you're getting absolutely destroyed. Like I said, my buddy helped me out. Pretty good price on trade-in. I'm not paying like tons out of pocket or anything, and I'm getting a brand new mower out of it. So yeah, why not, right? We'll see. We'll see if it ends up being worth it. Look at that. If you can play it like a guitar string, you know it's pretty good. Once I'm done with this, I think I need a further drop here. Well, we'll see. I forget that the truck squats down quite a bit with this trailer. All right, I'm ready to freaking hit the road. My e-brake was on. All right, I totally just realized I forgot some of the parts that I promised on trade-in. Turning around. It's a lot of 0 turns right there. It's a 9 series with the Tweels. There's a 3032E with the bucket attachment on the back, the excavator attachment. Pretty cool. This is where the real farm equipment is. Look, I'm just in the residential game, okay? So that's a 5090E. Wow, look at, what the heck? The freaking flying rat. Yeah, these things have some, look at the size of that diesel engine. Oh, shit. Is this bird good? I ain't ever seen a bird like this. Yeah, so we got a bunch of, you know, bush hogs and stuff like that over here. I always like the other John Deere dealer never has any of like the actual, like, kind of like excavator lines of things. The classic 35G. Like, I've never owned an excavator, I don't know much about them, but I do know that the 35G is like legendary. At least I think it is. I feel like I've heard a lot about it. I would definitely love to someday drive one of these around and use it. All right, so we got the Z740R on the trailer. It's looking really good. You can definitely tell the deck is wider. It was actually like hard not to hit the sides of the trailer getting it on. But first thing I'm gonna do is, I think I'm gonna stop by a gas station and fill it up. We'll see how much this one holds, because I feel like online I read it holds a good amount more than mine, but on the flip side, it kind of looks like a 6-gallon tank or 5 gallons. So I don't know, let's go find out. Well, it turns out I was wrong about the gas tank size, but the good news is it filled the tank completely for me. So yeah, I already started filling it, like almost instantly clicked, and I looked and I was like, oh, I thought it was just so empty I couldn't see any gas, but turns out it was just basically very full. So I was only able to get like, I don't know, 0.3 gallons in there, but I did Google it, and as long as Google AI is correct, it says the Z735M holds 8 gallons, and so does the Z40R. All right, here we go. Maiden voyage test here. So I got it set right now to about, I think I'm at 3 1/4. I gotta say, immediate things I noticed, you know, that wasn't a very long mowing session, and obviously the grass isn't super tall, but this engine does feel a little bit smoother. It idles a little bit lower and quieter, and I kind of feel like when it's even idled up, well, not idled up, but running wide open throttle, you know, for actually cutting, and with the PTO engaged for the deck, I feel like it's a little bit quieter than the 735M with the Briggs & Stratton motor was, or engine. So, I don't know, it's kind of like an interesting thing. It's not like an insane difference, by the way, if it is quieter at all. This is just me, you know, speculating. I feel like it's a little bit quieter. The suspension seat's already freaking amazing. I do need to adjust. I'm a short king. Oh, the actual seat can move up. Okay, that's probably what I need to do. Like this. I'm like debating, did my other seat? Yeah, it did adjust like that. Maybe I just never really adjusted it. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Got armrest ready to go. Steering and steering's really tight, by the way. It definitely, and like, man, that e-brake is also tight, which mine, you know, was worn in, so it's probably just that. This one it just rolled at 0.2 hours, so it is pretty low hour. But yeah, this feels great right about here. Make sure let's put this back. You want to make sure that your seat is over to the far position. That's the thing I didn't realize when I first got my mower, is I had the seat locked. So now this one has that kind of up and down suspension and back and forth, not really side to side, mainly up down front and back. If you put it in the locked position, it doesn't move forwards and backwards. So you definitely want that unlocked. I think it adds to where you got like a full rotation of suspension basically under your seat. All right, time for another test. We're gonna do a little bit of a longer cut. I don't really feel like doing the full yard right now, if you're wondering why I'm not just going at it. Try to engage the PTO a little lower RPM this time. Oh yeah. A little better for the belt network, they say. So they say. All right, we got the mower in its resting spot for the next probably few days till it gets a little warmer. Right now it's like, I'm gonna say like 48 degrees out, give or take. A little warmer than it was this morning, but yeah, the seat is obviously the biggest upgrade of this mower. The 60-inch deck, you know, I don't really know yet. I mean, I was very comfortable with the 54. I really liked how the 54 was basically in line with the wheels. So it was like, as long as your wheel wasn't hitting something, you know your belly of the mower was not hitting something. So, you know, this is gonna take some getting used to, having the 60-inch stick out a little more on both sides, but it's nothing crazy. When you do the math, it's like 3 inches more on each side. But obviously, only time will tell with the Kawasaki engine. I mean, so far it seems pretty good. It's, like I said, maybe runs a tad bit smoother and maybe runs a little bit quieter through all the RPM ranges. That's about all I can say about it. It definitely has plenty of power, but so did my old one. I'll really have to see once I get some really tall grass if this thing bogs down at all. But I think because of the 60-inch deck, we have more capacity too, so probably even less chances of this thing ever bogging down. That little LED lights in the front are obviously an added bonus. I won't know once again until we try to mow closer to nighttime if those are useful or not. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I'll definitely be doing some updates on this. I'll definitely do a maintenance guide probably towards the end of this year. So make sure you subscribe to Toast DIY if you want to see how to maintain one of these mowers and, you know, use the full John Deere maintenance kit, how to sharpen the blades, grease the Zerk fittings, and all that good stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But if there's anything that you guys feel like I forgot, or maybe anything that I just blatantly said wrong, feel free to let me know down below. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. See you on the next one. Peace out.